So hi, I'm Obscurus from Obscured Focus. This is like my bazillionth time to try to record this video. We'll be talking today about the World of Warships carrier reset type thing. Okay, so this is what it used to look like. I think it's cool that I popped the map open right at the beginning of this so I could actually see this. And that's what most carriers pretty much played the whole game in the old days. It was more of a kind of um, it was more of a kind of an RTS type deal. You had multiple squadrons on the field. You had your scouts, your torpedo bombers, your actual APHE bomb units, um, etc. etc. And if you were an amazing carrier pilot, you could pretty much make your team look like absolute badasses. And if you were absolutely horrible, you could probably cost your team the game. And there was nothing in between. It was a specific type of captain who loved that specific setup. I tried it a few times. I saw the appeal, but it just wasn't why I came to World of Warships. But it did let me get an understanding for how they played, what they did, and help me help them help me. So that's why I have a few carriers laying around. And was able to just jump right into this. I'm not a big fan of this rework. The idea was to get it more appeal for a wider audience and kind of help balance to make them not so much less effective, but effective more in line with the same way that the actual ships were. So now you control a single squadron. And to me, I don't like the way the aircraft handle. It really irritates the ever-loving heck out of me that I cannot change elevation. So if I have a 3-puff wall of flak in front of me, it's just over. You cannot left or right fast enough to get out of it. Flak is also RNG. Whereas your actual guns, your 20, your 30, your 50 cals, etc., your Brownings, those are all actually heavily impacted by your skills. Whereas, the flak is just kind of is what it is. There are some few things that can adjust that, but very few. Also, the fact that, AA still shoots through islands really takes out an aspect I think that could have been really fun for this. Where, like this gentleman here, if he was a real player, he would have the island to his right. And if he had his enemy to the left, then he could just set his AA fire, knowing that most of the stuff is going to come in from that direction. Well, if you could use the islands to break line of sight and come in over the top of someone, that would change how they played and it changed how you played. Yeah, sorry for the replay bugs. They're real in this particular replay. The actual attack system is pretty good. I like it. It is very skill based. So it will take some getting used to for most people. But my issue is I think they may actually run a lot of people off. They used to play carriers, and they may find something else to do other than this game. I know it was a pretty, it wasn't a giant percentage, but it was a significant percentage, and good and bad carrier captains really had, they were really part of this game. It's going to be sad if we lose a lot of those people because they were the more strategically minded individuals. If you got in a random game with some good carrier pilots or slash captains, then you knew you could possibly get some teamwork out of some folks, which is rare. The thing that upsets me is this is going to have an appeal to no one in the way it's currently set up, in my opinion. The people who regularly captain a ship, it's not going to appeal to them. I don't like the fact that the carrier's consumables are auto-triggered. That leaves a lot for abuse. as soon as they said that, I already saw ways that you could exploit that, and there's plenty of videos on that kind of stuff. All in all, with the effect it's having on destroyer pilots or destroyer captains right now, that's pretty sad because I really like hopping into a destroyer every now and then. It's a fun style of gameplay. It's unique. Unlike cruisers and battleships, is one of the things they're trying to fix. I mean, they've split the cruisers into heavy and light cruisers, which gives you two different types of mindsets when you're playing them. Really, with battleships, it's a matter of are you a close range or a long range battleship. There are a few AA battleships, but most of them are premiums. I don't know. I'm just not a fan. I'm hoping after the insanity of I gotta play a carrier in random matches ends, and we can get back to a more balanced gameplay, and people can get out of these like hardcore, super psychotic anti-air builds and get back to a more balanced gameplay. Then World of Warships can start looking at what's going on. Because yeah, it was on the test server, but that's a test server. You can train an animal in a lab to do all kinds of neat tricks. And then if all of a sudden you plop it down in front of 250 kindergartners, you're going to get a different response, right? And let's face it, most of us that play World of Warships regularly act like kindergartners. So once we're done breaking it, they'll be able to figure out how to start fixing it. And one of the things I would like to see, movement system. I would like to see some kind of vertical and movement as well as horizontal. Sluggishness of turning an airplane. Alright, this is not a destroyer, it's an airplane. Right? So especially when you get into these biplanes, I mean, most of them, the only thing they were good at was turning. And that whole, as long as you're in this super sweet spot in the middle and you're just kind of mousing in one direction, your ships will kind of go. But if you turn too hard, all of a sudden you're in look mode and you're not turning anymore, which you're supposed to hold down your right button for. That irritates the crap out of me. And using the A and D turns you so hard, and since the camera's not turning with it and you can't see the reticle until you get engaged, so you don't know actually where your planes are pointed, and it feels more like I'm trying to control a carrier fleet from the Protoss than it does a group of biplanes. I don't know. I'm not real happy with it. Tell me your thoughts, your comments. Let me know. I would really like to start a discussion on this because this is one of the few games I still truly enjoy. Let me know if you want to see any more content around, like maybe suggestions and ideas and things of that nature that we can come up with as individuals. How much you think Wargaming even listens to its audience anymore? But with that, I'm Obscurus. This was Obscured Focus. You guys have a great day, and I will holla at you later.